Well, folks, you know what they say when you've got paths like these. Who needs wings? Nobody actually says that, but they really should say that because it's 100% true. I mean, look at this place. It's amazing. I think I'm going to put my wings away for a while and just walk around and enjoy the view. But actually, that's not true. I don't think I can do that. I need to keep my wings at least for a little bit longer because of what we're going to be doing today. We have not visited this place in quite a while. We don't even actually have a path to it, which we do need to get a path over here. This is our villager breeder, which we built quite a long time ago. And as you can see, we've got a couple of villagers still hanging out in here. They've been naughty villagers, and so they're in jail. We need to breed up a couple of villagers for the project that we're going to be working on today, because we don't have any down there in the waiting area. Nobody is ready to be hired, so we need to hire a couple more villagers, and we're going to transport them back over to our hilltop village area. Now, I'm thinking it's probably going to go over in this general vicinity, maybe down here. I'm hoping that's far enough away from the breeder that it's not going to interfere, and if it's too close, we'll just figure out what to do from there. But before we can transport the villagers from over there to here, we do need to do a little bit of prep work, and I should also show you guys a couple of changes that we've made in the most recent couple of live streams. Up here, we've done away with the entire trapdoor roof. We still have this border here, but this right here, a lot of the bees were getting stuck because they were trying to pathfind through the trapdoors and down into the beehives, which they were not able to do. So we took those out and we haven't had any issues since. We've also taken some time to tear down the little island that was right here before, just so we can have the full view of our volcano from all sides. We may build this back up with a little bit of the blackstone effect at some point, as if the lava is like starting to build up little satellite islands around the main volcano. But that's kind of a later down the road project if we have time. It's not super important that we get it done, but if we can, we'll try to throw that in there. We've had a few incidents with... Whoa! On fire again, Blue Jay! Happens every single time. Every time. We've had a few incidents with our armor stands, one including Prowl, a few including me trying to fly out of the TNT launcher, so we're trying to slowly add our pirates back into the base. And last but not least, the most important thing, we finally have our villagers renamed to blank space. Hey! Who did that? Ow! Oh, there you are. Go away. We've renamed our villagers to, you can see the blank space above their heads. It's really annoying. I can't just unname them. I have to put a space on a name tag, and now they're forever known as blank space. That's their names. But at least they're flipped right side up. As you can see, I've done quite a bit of prep work now. I've got a 9x9 hole in the ground, and the rails underneath actually go one block past that on each side. So it's an 11x11 hole in the ground with like a little lip over the top. And basically what we're going to do, we've got this little side swoop area right here that goes up to one single double chest of storage. Now, that's all we're really going to need for now. If we end up using this entire thing up relatively quickly, we may add some more chests up here, but I'm not looking for bulk. I'm looking for functionality, because we're going to use this wheat for some other things in a future episode. But we drop the minecart, and away it goes in a zigzag fashion. And this minecart is going to pick up all of the crops from the villager crop farm that we are about to make now. This is a method that I've used many, many times on many farms. Hold on a second. Hey, there we go. Okay, troubleshooting in the process. That's fine. So, we are going to be working on a villager crop farm, and in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is go ahead and fill all of this back in, and we do just need to remember where the outline of the farm is, so we're going to go ahead and mark out the corners, and there we go. We've got our minecart hidden, and I'm just now realizing that's just a regular minecart. That's not going to do. Let's go ahead and break that so that it'll stop when it gets back up here. We need a minecart with hopper. Then the next thing that we need to do in order to prep for our villagers to come on over here, we need to fence this in so that they cannot escape, and then we can work around them. So I'm just going to grab a few spruce fences here and block the area in. We've been using this spruce feel over for the bee farm, so I think that will look really nice. Oh, maybe we'll go ahead and do birch fences Yeah, I think that's actually what I want to do. Never mind. Let's go get birch fences so we can match the feel of the bee farms that we've already got in place. There we go. That's not looking too bad so far. We actually need to build these corners up one more just so our villagers can't pop over the edge of those solid blocks when we finally get them in there. And that is the next thing that we're going to do. Time to go grab some villagers. And when I say villagers, I mean one. I did some testing in my creative testing world, and I did it with 2 villagers and with 1 villager, and honestly, the second villager was just kind of standing around doing nothing for this size of a farm, so it's not really necessary to have more than 1. But if you're going to do multiple tiers or larger crop farms, you may want to consider more than 1 villager. So we're just going to get 1 for now, and there we go. We've already got a baby villager sitting down here in the waiting room, ready to go on over to this area. So the next thing that we need to do is reroute our rail system, because so far this has only been used for our iron farm. We need to redirect it that direction so that we can get our villager over to our brand new farm. And we've got a villager over here, and more importantly, in my my offhand, I got the Blue Jay Custom Totem of Undying, thanks to Nokri for putting this little pack together. There's one more thing in this pack that's actually really creepy, which we're gonna have to show you a little bit later, but he made this for my Patreon server, Total Tangent. Come check out the nest. My Patreon server. Would love to have you there. Anyway, we've got our villager, who has been affectionately named My Little Prowly. For all of you fans who wanted the My Little Pony Nether Hub, this is the compromise right here. And Prowl didn't agree to this. He's gonna have to live with it. So we're gonna go ahead and kick off our little farm build here by finding the center point, which I believe is right here. Yes. Yes, so this is the center point, and we're going to go ahead and dig that one out right there, and you can see the rails down underneath. Our minecart is still going. Actually, no, it's not. We did pause it. Oh, look, it's Prowl. So then we're going to go ahead and place a slab right here. And speaking of My Little Prowly Poo and Prowl, this is actually something that he reminded me of, because I was going to have to fight putting a block down here and having the minecart go around it. He's like, just grab a slab and waterlog it. It won't wreck your rails. So there you go. Hot tip. Thanks, Prowl, for that one. We got water straight smack dab in the middle of the farm, and we're gonna go ahead and take our netherite hoe, which I've got handy right here, and we're just going to till all of this soil. And because it is within a 4-block distance of the center point here of water, all of this will become saturated and will allow our crops to grow. And we'll move Prowly Poo out of the way. We're gonna leave our villager in the minecart for now, so we can go in and out of this little pen freely. But we need to grab a few more supplies for what's coming next. Made one quick change to the farm that you guys should know about. We did have this at a 9x9 radius around the farm. It's not a circle, so would that actually be a radius? I don't know. Anyway, we've expanded it a couple more blocks on each side because we do have some plans for this little strip of grass right here for bees once we get those in place. So we needed a little bit of extra room, and that way we're not having to do double fencing or anything like that. We'll just have one border of fence around the farm. So now the next thing that we can do is go in here and grab a bunch of these seeds, and we're going to go ahead and start planting so that our wheat can start growing in our little crop farm. And there we go. So this isn't anything special right here other than the rails underneath it. This is a basic crop farm that you would build at any beginning of any world. And I know we're really late game for doing something like this, but we are doing some automation with it. That's where our villager friend comes in. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go back here, and I believe under this fence should be okay. Yes. If we go under this fence, what we're going to do is we're going to take a bed and we're going to bury it in the ground. And we're going to make sure that this villager right here links up with it. If he doesn't, then we're in trouble. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And green sparkles. Any sparkles? Does he need to get out of the minecart in order to do this? Hey, there we go. Green sparkles and green sparkles. Okay, so our villager is officially linked with the bed. And so this is actually officially a village now. Now, he's not going to do anything just yet because he's just a regular standard villager. He doesn't have a workstation. He doesn't have a job. But that will change when we take this composter and place it down. If we put a composter down, this villager, because it's the only one in the vicinity, should become a farmer. All right, so boom. And we're going to link. There we go. So there's our farmer. This farmer now has the job of harvesting and replanting all of these crops. Now, now, what's going to happen if he harvests these crops right now, it's going to start filling up his inventory. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to go ahead and take a bunch of seeds, and we're just going to toss them at him, and he will pick up all of these seeds. We're just going to go ahead and start tossing full stacks. So there's 1, and he picked it up. There's 2. Come here. And then there's 3. Come pick this up. Then there's 4. Uh-oh, he got a wheat. I don't know if that's going to affect things or not. I hope not. So we'll go ahead and pick this up, pick that up, and his inventory is full. So in theory, what should happen is every time he goes to plant and replant, the wheat should just drop onto the ground because his inventory is completely full. The wheat will drop onto the ground, and the minecart will pick it up on its way around and deposit it into our little chest over here. Okay, so we're gonna watch really quick because I may have broken my farm here before it's even finished. Villager, can you break that please and pick it up, please? Do you want to grab some wheat? Am I not paying you enough? Do I need to pay you more? Should I pay you less? What motivates you? Typical Prowl, just standing around looking like a doofus with a big nose. I'm a normal-sized nose doofus, thank you. Okay, Mr. Villager. My little Prowly. Hey, it just pains me to do this, but you're fired. Let's go get another one, shall we? We have a brand new farmer over here. He's been hired for his expertise in wheat planting and not standing around looking like a doofus. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our seeds first before we plant, and we're going to go boom, 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 and he's going to start planting. See, look at this profession right here. This professional work. All right, we've got 8 stacks of seeds, and I believe that 9 should do it. We've got 1 more that we can toss at him. Is he going to pick it up? I don't think he's interested, which I think means that his inventory is full. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and help him out. We're going to go ahead and plant some stuff here as well. And I'm going to go back and grab a few more seeds from storage just to make sure that we don't have any issues with him running out from planting all of these seeds. We just want to make sure that he doesn't have any open slots for anything else. So let's toss these last 4 at him and see if he'll pick them up. Perfect. That's great. I've got 3 more stacks of seeds, and we're going to test this out to see if he actually needs anything else in his inventory or if it's completely full. So here we go. Ready? Did you pick anything up? Oh, yeah, you definitely picked some stuff up. There we go. Okay. Not interested, right? So your inventory is full. This guy should forever be a wheat farmer from now on. I think we're good. So now that we know that this actually works, you can stop here if you want, and this will all grow naturally and slowly over time. We're going to get some bees in place, and in preparation for that, we got a couple things. We've got flowers, we've got our blue orchids, and we're going to drop a couple right there, and then we're going to come over here, and we're going to drop a couple right here. I've placed these diagonally after some pretty extensive testing in my creative testing world. If we place them in all 4 corners, then the bees are going to kind of fly from here to here, and from here to here, and sometimes they'll go across the crops and kind of sprinkle some fairy dust on them or whatever it is to help these crops to grow. But I have found that if they go from this direction to that direction, they actually do fly over the crops a lot more often. And that's kind of what we're getting them to do, is to fly over the crops with their pollen and pollinate these crops and help them to grow faster. And then in order for them to keep working away, we do need a couple of beehives. So the center point right here and the center point right here, we're going to place a couple of beehives so that they have a place to go at night, and we're just going to block these off. And then we're actually going to turn these around because they will actually not be able to enter into these beehives if they are facing towards the crops. This is an obstruction, so we are going to turn this around really quickly. And there we go. Now the bees will be able to get in and out of their hive, no problem. We'll do the same thing over here. And already we've got a bee just kind of hovering over this direction. Maybe he's going to get interested in this area. I don't know, maybe. If not, we do have some flowers that we can lure a couple of bees over here, and we can start breeding them up. And there is a way that we're going to trap them inside that's not going to look like a complete crazy, nasty, awful mess. But let's go ahead and breed up a couple bees. We'll get one bee right here and say, hey, munch, munch, eat the flower. And then we'll go over here to another bee and see if this one will munch, munch, eat the flower. And then we should get a baby bee, because that's how that works, right? There we go. And then I'm sure a few of these have flown off over time. So we're just going to breed up a few more, get all these farms nice and up to par with where they should be. My goal is to get 6 bees inside of this farm. I definitely don't want to overdo it because this area is already pretty saturated with bees, and we don't want to overdo the mobs flying around and collisions and things like that so that we don't start lagging the world. So just be careful of this if you're on a server with other players. If you're in a single player world, go crazy with it. Do whatever you want. You can lag your world and it's not really going to bother anybody but you, but just kind of keep that in mind if you are on a server. More mobs oftentimes equals more lag. We've got our existing pillars in place and we're going to build them up to higher. And we'll make sure to strip the logs like we have before, just for uniformity. And then what we can do is we can take fences and we will skip one right here, because if we start placing down fences, we can't see anything. We gotta like peek through to try to see our farm, and it just looks really, really, really ugly. I did test this out in my creative world. I did tons and tons of testing on this farm. If we put a layer of fences right here and a layer of fences right here, the bees actually will not fly through this gap. They will get tricked into staying inside of this pen forever as long as we put a roof on top, which we are going to do. This is a secure facility for our bees to harvest the crops and do the thing. It's technically not harvesting, right? That's growing crops. Whatever it's called, the bees are going to stay in there forever, and it will make our farm function without any interruption. Oh, we've already got a bee in here. Very, very good. Very good. You stay right there, buddy, okay? So the next thing that we need to do is we need to pop up here and put a roof on this thing before we start luring too many more bees in here, because we want to make sure that they do stay in once they're here. And we're going to go ahead and put full blocks right here. And the reason why we are putting full blocks right here, and we'll actually go above the fence as well, is because slabs are weird as well with bees. Slabs are weird. Trapdoors are weird. They do some weird pathfinding things. So if we use a full block here, we won't have any issues with them trying to glitch through the block. They will just stay there, but it doesn't look very nice. It is kind of ugly. We do have a solution for that I will show you here in just a moment. Now, it is a little dark in here because we've put full blocks on the roof. So we're going to go ahead and light it up, and we're just going to light it up with some lanterns, and we're going to be careful where we put these. One, because we want to make sure there's enough light distribution, but two, we also don't want the villager to like jump on these and then jump down and do what I just did there, because that's irresponsible and not a good idea. So we're basically just going to place them every other one around the place and make sure that it's well lit. So we're going to go ahead and break this fence really quickly, and we will lure a couple of bees in here, and then we'll bring them on over to the other side and say, ha, gotcha. And then we'll get a fence, and then we'll block this off, and they'll never escape again. We do need to figure out what to do about this spot right here. Maybe we put a fence there. Maybe a fence there. If that'll allow a minecart to go through, you know, I don't really know. Let's test it out. If that'll allow a minecart through, it won't. Shoot. All right, so let's break that one. Will that go through? Nope, it sure won't. We do need to figure out a way to keep the bees from flying down in there. And I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be just yet. Maybe that'll be enough to kind of keep them from flying down. We'll have to see. I'm not a huge fan of how this looks from the outside, but we're going to go ahead and do something like that, and then we'll strip the logs, and we'll do something like that, strip the logs, and then we'll head up top here and build this up one more, and again, strip the log, and same thing over on this side. And then what we can do is we can put a little lip right here that spans between the log posts that we just put outward like that. And I think that makes the build look a little bit more textured. It's got a lot more depth to it. Just looks a lot nicer. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do to this part just yet, because that doesn't look too great. The point of today's video is not necessarily about the aesthetics and design. You do want something that looks nice, but the main point of today's video is about the functionality of the farm. And just like that, our entire farm is complete. We've got our bees flying around. Some of them are currently inside the beehives, but they are flying around and they are helping our crops to grow a lot faster. And furthermore, you should see it popping up here out of the ground in just a moment. There it is. We got our minecart flowing back and forth so that anytime this guy drops wheat on the ground, you can see there's one right there at his feet. It just got picked up by the minecart. And when that minecart comes back up, you can see we've got 46 wheat currently in the storage area. We'll wait for the minecart. It should be back up here relatively soon. And there it is. And boom, we've got 5 more wheat than we had before. That's fantastic. I told you earlier I had something creepy to show you about this texture pack that's on right now. You're about to see it. You ready? It's terrifying. You're gonna have nightmares. I promise. Nogri thought it was a good idea to retexture the zombies to be creepy-faced blue jay. So, you're welcome. Good luck sleeping tonight. That's just unnerving. Anyway, we did a little bit more aesthetic work, and this looks very nice at nighttime. Oh, I've got some phantom friends here. Can we unvote these guys out of the game, please? Minecon's coming up. It's a good time to reevaluate. Anyway, we got the aesthetics done on the outside of our farm. We added some lanterns. It looks really nice at night. Our villager is running around doing the crop thing, and our bees are doing the dust in the crop thing, and our minecart is doing the picking up the crop thing. Everything is functioning like it should, and you could say that we are in business. So enjoy that little joke there. See ya.